guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're getting into some blood magic. Hopefully you guys are ready. So on today, what is ChosenArchitect going to do? We are going to be automating even more things. Yes, we're on an automation spree, and the next thing on the list was for me to do the processing tier. I did go ahead and set that up, however. It was very simple, and I just wanted to get a couple of these things out of the way. So to set this up, I've gone ahead and I've placed down a personal EMC link, laser IO, running down here because glass panes cannot be crafted any other way. They don't have EMC. So this is basically filling up. This has these items in it, and it's automatically just pulling into it and creating the process. Of course, this is a process that will have to be sped up using a accelerator. Now for the mob drops over here, I mean, they just drop. They just get dropped into this and we're good to go. Mobs are spawning in here, so on and so forth, get killed, and those mob essence get dropped in here. So that was one of the things we needed, was like the mob souls, and that's just a simple drop. Now, jelly babies on the other hand. This is a little quick setup that I want to get done because we are going to be jumping into blood magic today. But to get the jelly babies, the XP jelly babies set up, it's not that difficult, right? So we are going to need a bucket. Let's go ahead and grab that. And we basically click this, we get a bucket of that, and we need gold nuggets. And we place this inside, we get ourselves a mold. Great. Now the mold just needs to be crafted in here. And then we also need a solidifier. Now the solidifier is going to require a little bit of, let's see, mob conveyors and stuff like that. Let's see, a singularity tank, all that fun jazz. And there we go. So right here we have an XP solidifier and jelly babies. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, I think this has the ability for me to set the directions, right? Now I think this is the face, but what I need to do is put this in here, and you can see where it says push northeast or whatever. We need an ender tank or an ender chest. And I'm going to set that right here, and we need that to go west. So we'll say push west. And basically we should get jelly babies as soon as this starts pushing the XP to the face, to the front. So you can see that's going there. I'm clicking all the items because I have a magnet on. By the way, that's the mob souls we automated. But I believe if we turn this on, this is going to just start making jelly babies. And there's a jelly baby, and as you can see, it went in here. It is a consumable. We could eat it for XP. We don't necessarily need XP, but we could. But as you can see, it's going to be taking the XP that we're getting and just collecting it over time. This is another thing that can be sped up with the Watch of Flowing Time. So perfect. Jelly babies are now off our list. That is just one of many things. Now my plan is to have everything in a drawer, right? That way I can use the drawer controller later on to send everything out. And that's going to be really fun. We're going to have an area where we do that. But for right now, let's move on to one of our big mods we have to get through that we never touched on. And that is blood magic. Yes. Now, sacrificial knife, one of the things we're going to need. Hopefully we can speed things up with the Watch of Flowing Time. I'm going to go ahead and make another one specifically for this project. But to get started, blood altar. Thankfully, there is a questing guide here, which is going to be kind of helpful for me because there are some things that are going to be kind of a pain to get a hold of. And we're also going to have to convert our mob farm a little bit. I don't know if there's a way to automate mob souls in this, but we're going to have to figure that out. And as of right now, it looks like we're doing good. We'll get ourselves our book. This is the Book of Blood Magic. Tells us everything we need. And I am going to have to start getting myself some plates. Now, one way to help with this, RF tools. This is going to speed this up tremendously. So within RF tools, there is a environmental controller here. And we are going to need to craft this. And we've got some mobs to find and kill. Thankfully, we have a mob farm. So that's going to be a little helpful. There we go. So environmental controller, and we need a syringe. So we'll go ahead and grab a syringe. We're gonna need a couple of things. I think a regeneration module is going to be great. So a regeneration plus. And is that all of the modules? No, that's definitely not. There's more modules. Because we should also have a saturation, but we already have healing and regeneration in our suit. So hopefully it's not going to be too bad, but we can already see right here that we don't regenerate all that fast, right? So that's where that environmental controller is going to come in handy. So in order to get this though, this is a regeneration module base 1. We need the regular generation, which is a witch. So we need to basically let witches spawn, which I know actually where some witches are at, which is kind of nice. So we just need a base, and then we surround it with this. Yeah, that should be pretty easy actually to get done. So here we go. Perfect. All I need to do is tap this guy a couple of times, and we will have ourselves a witch. By the way, a witch spawner is something that we're probably also going to want for blood magic. So after completing the same basic task, all I've done is I've got myself the witch, I got a zombie, and I've made myself a saturation plus and a regeneration module. Both of these are, I would say, 100% necessary when getting into this mod. So if we place both of these in here, we should now be receiving the benefits. So with our range, we need to make sure that we're in the right height. It says right now, let's set this to 0. Let's see, because we are at -14. We need this to be at like 0. And then this we can lower to like, I don't know, 50 or probably less than that. Probably 25. And we don't need the radius to be very far. We just need to be able to receive the benefits here where we're currently at. And you notice my saturation is completely full. And now when I'm over here filling this up, I can just consistently hold right click basically. And I am going to completely heal. And it's going to heal incredibly fast. I bet this would be even faster potentially. No, I don't know. I don't know. This gives us regeneration 3 and saturation 3. So that's pretty quick, which is going to be the best way to fill this up early on. Now, I'm going to try my best to explain and go through this mod as quick as possible. This blood magic takes a lot of time, just time, which is kind of a pain. There's very few crazy mechanics. It's literally just a time sink. So I want to set up slate automation. That is going to be something that we're going to need a ton of, is slate, because this is going to end up being a pretty big altar overall that we're going to have to build. So the blood altar gets larger and larger over time. And as you can see, this is the tier 2 blood altar. It starts off at tier 1 with what we're at, and then we keep going up and up, and you can see the altar gets larger and hits tier 5, which is its max tier at the moment. So to get slates automated, really we just need a single filter here, and we should be able to send items into this, and then let them finish and pull them out. Now, here's the thing. It is kind of weird how this works. If we take stone and we throw this in here, if I put, let's say, 1 stone, it's going to take this 1 stone and use the exact amount of life essence you can see from above that it needs to complete its process. However, if I put 2 in here, it's still going to take both of them, I believe. Oh no, does it only take 1 now? Did they change it? Ooh, that's actually kind of cool. You used to be able to put like a whole stack. I think you might be able to still if you put it in through here. So if you right click it yourself, you may not be able to put multiple, but let's test this out. So if I have a barrel, for example, that I'm sending the items through on both sides. If I go ahead and put an extraction card on here, is it going to allow me to pull out multiple? Because that's how I was able to do it before. We'll set this to extract. That's going to automatically send over here and send into this. So if I put 2 in here, is it going to put 2 in or put 1 at a time? It put both in. So this is what I was meaning about placing what I was trying to get to. If you put a whole stack in, it's not going to do 1 at a time. It's going to do the entire stack. So you cannot put a whole stack in here unless you put a count filter on this, because this is going to take as much LP as it would take to do 2. And so when we click this, you can see we just got 2 because we had 1 in our inventory. I've got to make a bunch of these base slates to get us to the next tier. And then it's just a matter of upgrades and all kinds of fun jazz. Now, I just tested out using the watch of flowing time on this, and for some reason, this just uses up all the LP for a single block, so it doesn't actually work, which is kind of unfortunate. But I did go ahead and set up the size, got the rooms set up so that way it will fit a tier 5 inside this room. And this is where I'm actually going to have to move this, and is where we're going to build our tier 2. So as soon as I have enough slates, we're going to start making our first blocks with blood magic. And I believe, yeah, it'll just be regular blank runes that we have to make. Oh, that reminds me. We also need to make ourselves a blood orb. Oh, goodness. Yeah, by the way, this mod, man, has some fun memories of me recording this in the past, like doing past blood magic stuff. YouTube used to be very, very strict. And saying blood and stuff in your videos, or having it in the title, like saying blood magic in the title, would get the video usually restricted, or ads would be completely removed off of it. Oh my goodness. Hopefully it doesn't still happen, but usually that's been why I don't cover blood magic too much. So if we put the diamond in here, that's going to get us our blood orb. And as soon as I have that, I'll be able to get myself at least into tier 2. And then we're going to move on to the more advanced parts, which is going to be mob souls and how we potentially automate those. And there's our weak blood orb. Boop. We got to right click this, by the way, so that way it sets it to us. And as we right click this, notice it's not taking any life away from us. But every time we do this, we're actually filling our LP network. And if I take a look at blood, I don't know if we have a slate in here. But we have a slate of holding, a slate of frozen lakes. These are all things that we've gotten. The slate of faster miner. When we click this, I believe, shift right click, it'll give us haste. So if we shift right click, you can see it empowers, gives us haste, but it's using LP out of our network. So let's see. We also have magnetization, frost lakes, and sigil of holding. Don't remember what holding does, but there is a sigil that we will need to get here in a minute that is going to be able to tell us how much LP is in our said network. So with enough slates, we should be able to grab 8 of these, and we're going to make our first tiered up altar here. Now, actually, I do need a block here, but the center point doesn't actually receive a block. So let's go ahead and surround this just like so. Boop. There we go. And technically, this is a tier 2 altar. It should have already upgraded. We just can't see it yet. And how do we go about seeing that? Well, I got a solution for that. Now, to upgrade things, we need ourselves an alchemy table. We can go ahead and place that down. And this is where some crazy things are going to happen. And we're going to be using this a lot. To get started, blood magic. We need ourselves some ash because we need to make a sigil. There's a very specific sigil here that I'm going to need. And that sigil is called a Divination sigil. But first, we need arcane ash. This is going to require some redstone, white dye, gunpowder. The good thing is I think we can add this recipe up here. Makes it a little easier to see all of this stuff when we go to pull it out. Now, white dye, we should have all of this stuff inside here. And I'm going to grab a stack of each. Gunpowder and coal. Not charcoal. I think it can be charcoal, can it? Good. We can go ahead and make it charcoal. So what we should be able to do is put this in here like this. And if I go ahead and remove this, you can see right here, orb error. We're missing something. We're missing our orb. So we need to put our orb in here. And as you can see, it is going to generate the resources. I'm assuming these are maybe automation things. Don't quite know what these buttons are. These are new. But there we go. Arcane ash. Let's get a barrel just so we can make sure to store some of these items. So we don't have to pull them out all the time. Now, arcane ash. That was the item we just received from here. And we need some redstone because to be able to make this properly, we need to use redstone on it. So how does it say to make this? Well, we need a blank slate, a piece of redstone, and that will make a sigil. So blood magic. Let's get a blank slate. And let's go ahead and do this. This is pretty cool. So we're going to place this down, hit it with redstone. By the way, as you can see, our talisman repaired that. Hit it with redstone, it's changed, and then we hit it with this, and this is going to generate that sigil we need to be able to see how much LP we have in our network. It's very useful. It's going to come in handy. And if you didn't have some sort of thing telling you how much LP was in your blood altar, you wouldn't be able to see it. The only way you'd be able to see it is by holding this. And you can also see in the top left-hand corner, it's telling me how much LP is in there. And it's also telling me what tier it is. Very important. We're on tier 2. And if I right-click this, it tells me how much LP is in my current life network. Which to add more, of course, all you have to do is click your blood orb or place it inside the altar here, and it will start draining LP and filling it up. The base one only holds 5,000, so you're not gonna be able to fill it up any more than that. But currently, that's how we're doing this. Now, with the slates going in like this, it's actually quite easy to let this just sit here and do this. Because these only use a little bit of your current life pool, you can get quite a bit filled up pretty quickly just by standing here every now and then filling this up. Now, moving forward, we might want to think about getting ourselves essence. Yeah, it's a little complicated, but soul snares and demon will, we're going to have to make these. These are not essence, but they're, yeah, demon will is what they're called. So will. We need to figure out a way to get these so we can start filling up our Tartaric gems. And this is a kind of a long process, but we need it for the Hellfire Forge in the future. So snares are just string 500 LP, very simple. And, we can go ahead and actually set that up in here, and it is going to automatically pull items out. But if we can do this, right? And we can just go ahead and say only pull out snares, I think we'll be pretty good. And then same over here. If we say string and we only put one string in, we should be good. So string, and we put a stack in here. I think that should be fine. Get rid of the stone. Make sure to fill this back up. And as soon as this one's done processing, I'm going to take this out. It should start putting string in there. And string should transfer pretty quickly. It's only 500 LP. So with our newfound snares, all we have to do is take our snare and throw it at some mobs. We have to get ourselves a little bit of will. So I'm going to try my best to do this. So this guy's right here. Let's see. Toss it at, I mean, I guess all of them can receive it. You see the particle effects? And we kill them. Well, that one's not dying, but there we go. We have ourselves some will. I don't know. Let's try this again. Because for some reason, okay, those guys are lit. Let's move over to our sword. And there we go. So yeah, we do have an AoE with this, which is really, really nice. We were able to AoE mobs. So if I use these on them, hopefully this, and I hopefully should be able to kill that. Even though this is not affected by the AoE. Oh boy. Also, by the way, I ended up putting the dark matter pedestal over here with a life stone on it. And this right here gives me even more saturation, which we don't really need, but it does heal me every 0.25. So it, like, with me having this on top of everything else, speeds things up incredibly, and I heal even faster now, which is just bananas. But now that I have all of this will, I need an iron sword, because to be able to get more will, I'm going to basically need a mob farm. Thankfully, we do have our mob farm that I'm probably going to just stand there and farm this in, but we need to make a sentient sword. So, iron, and we're probably going to end up putting mending and everything on this, but we need some will to get this started, and we also need a Tartaric. So I need to keep all of these things in a list here. So to make this, I need a Tartaric. So let's add Tartaric to the list, and this. Perfect. So I can see all of the ingredients. Now to make the Tartaric, it does need some will. So you have to use one of these wills, and you can see it has a quantity. That quality is going to be used to make this, as you can see, and it went down 1. We needed a whole 1 in order to be able to make it. Now, after we've made it, I'm going to actually make 2, I believe. Actually, you know what? We can probably just use this one. So with this, we go ahead and we're going to use it to make the sword. Yeah, we do need 2 of them. I remember that now. So let's find another one that's got enough. This one's got enough, because this one has to be used for the crafting recipe for this sword. Perfect. So there's a full one. Awesome. We don't want it to go ahead and start again. We just want this to do this and make this sword. So I think it's going to cost 1 whole will to do this as well. And there we go. So how does the Tartaric work? Well, all of this will that we've gotten, we don't want it to be items in our inventory. We want it to go into something that stores it. So let's drop this on the ground. And then now when we pick it up, it's going to start filling up our Tartaric gem, which holds will. And so the enchanting begins. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be putting base stuff on here. I'm just going to be enchanting books until I get the books that I need. So after doing some enchanting, we have ourselves an Unbreaking 3 Smite. Smite is meh on here. I would have loved Sharpness, but Smite's fine. If we kill zombies, this would be great. And Soul Stealer. I didn't even know that was an enchant, but it is. And Mending. And I looked up what Soul Stealer was, and it's kind of nice. So increases the souls collected per kill per level. And this has 4 on it, so that's pretty good. Now, what we need to do is technically get in here, but we need to make sure that creepers aren't going to blow up our stuff. And we need to turn this off. So I'm going to stand in here temporarily. And if I pop in here, turn this off, I should be able to, you know, take out some mobs and hopefully collect their will. Now this is also going to collect, but yeah, over time, we're going to be able to definitely say, yeah, collect it up. Go ahead and get these mobs killed. I've got some will to collect. Whole bunch. It's going to take some time. You know, this might be a good time to get into the soul shards mod and make myself a soul shard. Am I able to make one of these? Because I want to be able to technically pop in, let's see, right click on top of a glowstone block with diamond in hand. Okay. I want to basically be able to make myself a zombie mob spawner. And we can use this for the blood magic setup as well. This is going to be perfect, actually. We need to find zombie spawners in order for this to work properly. So glowstone, diamond on top. Kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and do this. Wait. Did I read this right? Okay, to make this, it says right click on top, or right click on the top of the glowstone block with a diamond in hand. Oh, I see. It's just not showing the picture. It needs 4 obsidian, 4 blocks of quartz, and then 1 glowstone. But I've got to find out what this thing looks like. So apparently it looks a little bit like this, even though I couldn't see the image. And then, boop. And there we go. I have a soul shard. Oh, I thought it was going to actually take up the floor. So I should be able to right click this on a zombie spawner. And I know where some spawners are. So perfect. Right here is one of those spawners. However, we have a bunch of mobs. Maybe I can clear some of them out. I don't know. It's bound to zombie. When we click that, perfect. We now have a tier 2 zombie spawner. I got to find a few more to make this higher tier. And it looks like this one is another one. Boop. Now we should have a tier 3. Now that I have myself a maxed out soul shard, tier 5, this thing should be pretty fast. I do want to put this above my my spawner, or above my my altar. I think that is going to be the way to do this. That way we can kill zombies and not have to worry about using our own life to do this. So I need to basically build myself a spawner above this. So with this spawner, I'm going to take into account that it's going to work potentially like a regular mob spawner, and I'm going to place it right here. So this is where it is going to go. So with that in mind, I know that that this right here underneath, it can spawn mobs up to 4 blocks down. And if it doesn't even anywhere else for it to spawn, it's not going to spawn anywhere. So I'm hopefully going to be able to contain all the mob spawns to this little area. Now 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to have to go. Also, this flare lantern, going to have to go. I've got to figure out another way to light this area up. This should not affect anything, hopefully. That's the goal. So I can do glowstone, place some of these around. I mean, we're probably gonna have a nice dimly lit area. What I'm probably gonna have to do is just toggle on my night vision mode on my helmet. Probably gonna be, yeah. Let's just toggle on night vision mode. That's gonna be much better, so I don't have to worry too much about lighting. But up here, I'm gonna be using vector plates, and then I'm also gonna use a main plate on the bottom. This is going to hurt the mobs down to as low a health as possible without killing them, so that way I can kill them. That way they don't have to take any drop damage. And I kind of want this to be right here. And I want to be kind of be able to see the mobs, as you can see. And this is going to be like a filter shoot, is really what this is going to do. So this is going to filter the mobs in and shoot them right down into the bottom, which is just what I want. Perfect. So let's go ahead, put the vector plates in, and then we'll just teleport out of here. But yeah, I think this is going to work perfect. This is definitely going to work. Drop that. And then on the outer side, I'm probably going to, actually, I could probably just place another block like this right here. And that would really force them down for sure. So yeah, overall, this is all going to be covered in vector plates. And I think this is honestly going to work too well. Especially with it being a tier 5. Probably going to be quick. It's going to be quick for sure. Let's see. Let's get the last bit. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this and funnel them down into the middle. That way this closes off the gap. Because when this is closed... There we go. And I'll fill it in later on. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to probably work too well. A little bit too well. All right, and all of the vector plates. Basically, this is just going to go around. And anything that spawns in here is going to end up down below. Yep. Make sure these are all rotating. And so, yeah, basically you end up, and then you end up down there in the hole. And all the mobs are going to end up bunching up. So, last thing I have to do is place down the soul cage and then get ready, because it should be activated. And as you can see, there they go. And they're spawning in. Yep, just as I thought. It's going to be a madhouse. Yeah. I mean, eventually they'll stop, right? Now that this is all done, it should be pretty easy to kill them, right? Even with this sword. We literally one-shot them. And look at all of the will we get. So this is not only a will farm. Like, this is pretty crazy as far as will goes. It's also going to work for this. So I need to fill this up with some blood here. Let's go ahead and pull the stone out for right now. I know my inventory is getting cramped. I need to kind of void off all of these drops if all possible. But yeah, I need to fill this up a little bit. So let's do that. And we need to make ourselves a sword that we can use to kill the mobs with to fill this up. And I'm going to need an iron sword in order for that to work. So we place that in there, give it a little bit of time, and hopefully we'll have this nice and filled up. And it will convert into a sword that we can use to kill these mobs for life essence. Oh boy, I'm kind of excited for this. And there's the sword. Perfect. There's the dagger. Now, this should, as we kill these, it should work. This is the dagger of sacrifice, right? Allows you to use a mob's life energy instead of your own LP. I think that's the same thing. So I think potentially to be able to use this, I'm not quite familiar because I've only done this a few times. I think to be able to get this to work, I wish I said sweeping. We actually need to add special runes to this. So let's grab our runes because we need runes of sacrifice. I believe that is what we need. So rune. Actually, let's just go blood magic because some things just don't want to work. It's called slate. Okay. We need to take this, and with our current LP, take some damage here. Gotta love some damage. I don't know why I'm sliding. Weird. Oh, I'm getting pushed to the mobs. Man, having those boss mobs are kind of a pain, honestly. So this is there, and we put this in. That is going to automatically get pulled out, right? Because it is already in that list. So let's go ahead and remove that. Okay. So we're going to end up setting up automation for these next tier runes. But this one is going to take up a little bit more LP. And then I think we also need to upgrade our weak blood orb. And we need to make the next tier one. So blood orb. I think we go to the Prentice, right? Tier 2. And it's a block of redstone and 5,000 LP. So it's made. There we go. So we have a Prentice blood orb. Let's click that. Okay. So I want to make myself runes of sacrifice, not self-sacrifice, but runes of sacrifice. And it's going to require this. It's also going to require a regular rune. So let's grab that. And rune of sacrifice. I think we just need, yep, our new blood orb. And there we go. So what we can do is now take this and take one of our sides out, replace it with that. And maybe now this will work. So right now we have 8.96. If I kill a mob, 8.96. Interesting. You know what? I bet this isn't working because I am using the main plate. So you know what? I'm going to kill all these mobs. And it's supposed to allow me to right-click the mob to instantly kill it. That's why it wasn't working. Ah, so we need all of their health. Okay, wow, that's insane. Now, I know this is a bit of a longer video, but it definitely needs to be. And because there's just so much to cover with this mod. And honestly, we've really covered over we've gone over the basics quite well. I think at this point, now is when things get a little bit more complicated. Now, I'm currently upgrading to the next tier. I'm just using regular blank runes for right now to get to the tier. But we will soon want to upgrade all of these for capacity. We want to add more runes of sacrificing. All of those things are going to dramatically help. But we need to go up 2 blocks and place a cap on here. So to do that, up 2 on all sides. And we're about to have a tier 3 altar already. I know, it's kind of crazy. By the way, I also noticed these mobs are dropping food. I don't know if they drop all of the food types, but that's kind of awesome if they do. But there we go. We have this. And technically, if we check with our Divination sigil, we are now a tier 3 altar. Well, guys, after getting to tier 3, I think it's a good stopping point. I was hoping to get through blood magic as much as I could in one episode, but of course that is almost impossible. So 2 episodes, I think we will have this ready to go, and we will be automating them slates before we know it. So I think next episode, we're going to have world downloads available for this, and well, be on the lookout for that. And it's also going to be complete blood magic automation setup time. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate you. Of course, guys, I will see you over on the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect, or over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect as well. Be sure to join me over there. I'd love to see you over there, or I'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.